Sorry. Oh my god, stop talking. The running joke is that because a lot of my technology talks, that whenever I'm in like a Zoom meeting or doing something like this, it all just starts talking. Okay. Hi, beautiful people. Let's see. Oh my god. I got my hair done. I got my hair colored, and I mean, it's been thrown up all day, but so I got the butterfly haircut, and it's super cute, but it's just, I wasn't fully thinking through all these layers. Oh my god. Okay. But I got bangs too, and I was just like, I don't know what I was thinking, because now I just have layers everywhere, and I'm just gonna, my bangs are just really driving me nuts. And I keep getting, see, okay, whatever. I don't know why it is whenever I feel compelled to be on camera, I look like a hot mess. So it's a Sunday. It was chore day. It is the partial solar eclipse / new moon. So I did like some meditation outside today, which was really lovely. But anyway, I've just been very cash, and anyway, here we are. Okay. I'm, for the first time, trying this flavor of bubbly. It is Bellini Bliss. I've always heard of a Bellini, which is a cocktail drink, but I never knew what it was, but it's Prosecco and peach, which I love both things, even though I don't really drink alcohol anymore. But let's try this. Ooh, I like that. Very refreshing. Okay. I don't know what we're doing today. I'm feeling very compelled to do some channeling, but it might be a little angry. So I don't know, we'll see. I also was just listening to music, so who knows, I might start singing at some point. I don't know, okay, let's start by taking a deep breath. Stop our shoulders, just relax. You know what, I'm going to see, my kids have been playing with stuff. I'm gonna clear some energy here. Okay, I don't have an animal with me today. Puppy's sleeping on the couch, and Kitty is in with my 8-year-old. So, no familiar. Okay. Where do we want to start? I'm just really, by the way, so this is going to be a longer video. I mean, not like 2 hours by any means, because I don't feel like doing that for 2 hours. But this is going to be a video that I will put up on YouTube. So if you want to see the full video, go to Disabled Barbie 44, and that link you can also find in my bio. I mean, like, good Lord, a lot happens every freaking day right now in the world. But I don't know, I'm feeling very, I don't know, like, I want to talk about the whole canceling of Jimmy Kimmel. And I don't know, because I have worked in media, because I have worked as a journalist, I'm a writer, I have friends in these industries. I don't know, it's something that, you know, freedom of speech is something I've talked about for a long time, and something that people often do not understand. And, you know, you should and can say what you want, but that doesn't mean there aren't consequences. However, when so I know there's a disabled comedian who Maysoon Saeed, and she is a very funny person, and she's also an awesome activist within the disability community, and along with the Palestinian community. She's Palestinian herself. Since the genocide, since the war in Gaza, she's been very vocal. You know, this is her homeland. This is where friends and family of hers live and are being, I mean, to say impacted is, it feels a little bit like dismissive of what's happening. But she has been, in the last couple of years, just raked across the coals and canceled. And, you know, she's been removed from, you know, comedy festivals, and, you know, clubs have dropped her as an act, and purely because it's not even that she is vocal about her beliefs, but specifically because it's been about Palestine. And she's had some really great social media content lately about what's been happening, and, you know, basically it's like they're coming for you now. All these white men, you know, who are from this country, from the US, are now suddenly being, you know, canceled in a very similar way. And point being that when we don't all stand up and unite and say something is wrong, even if we don't really understand why somebody else believes something or thinks something, this is what happens. And this is by no means the only person I know who's been canceled in the truest sense of the word. Not, oh, people just don't like them anymore and don't want to watch their content, but they still get to make fucking content. You know, truly canceled, truly had their you know, what's the word I'm thinking of? You know, finances impacted. You know, their purpose in life impacted. Most people who get quote unquote canceled, that's not what actually happens. It's just people, even for just a time, and eventually, you know, the wind blows in the other direction and then everything's fine. But I don't think we really understand what canceling somebody means. So there's that part of this equation. But I'm trying to gather my thoughts, and I've been thinking about this for days, and so you'd think I'd be more articulate on this, but I don't know, here we are. God, my freaking hair, it's driving me nuts. Okay. Okay, so let's just, okay, whatever. So there's that part of it. So there are people who have legitimately been, like, lost their jobs, lost funding, you know, have legitimately been asked to not show up to places because of what they wanted to say, what they want to vocalize, what was deeply personal and passionate for them. And I'm trying to say this in a way that, like, doesn't sound like I'm saying, like, oh, hate speech is totally fine. I mean, the thing is that free speech is free speech. So, whether you like what somebody says or not, they are allowed to say it. And unfortunately, that does mean we have to listen to the bonkers, motherfuckers who want to say things like hate speech. They want to truly slander people, just because of who they are, what their identity is. Yes, that is a part of free speech. But when those people have consequences for what they've said, that doesn't mean then we, turn around and tell those people, that group, what have you, that they're not allowed to do that, because it's fucking free speech. Yes, they are. I know a lot of people are, saying, oh, it's just a late night show. Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel, it's just a late night show. It's just entertainment. Okay, but where does it end? The dumbass in charge didn't like things that were said, even though they were based on facts, but that's a whole other subject. And literally said, they're gone or else. And instead of these companies standing up to somebody, to a dumbass who wants to act like a fucking baby and have tantrums, they said, all right, yes, your majesty, yes, Lord Dumbass. What can I suck for you? Sorry. And I recently watched a news report on from a legal perspective. The Supreme Court currently is 0 to 9 in what their ruling would be on issues like this. And an example is the New York Times, who recently Mr. Dumbass tried to cancel them and get them to do these, whatever. If you want all the specific details and things, you can fucking go Google it yourself. But anyway, so a judge literally was just like, "What? This is nonsense. Like, you can't cancel what a newspaper reports. Like, you might not like it, but again, things that were factual that can be fact checked. But regardless of any of that, you can't do that." And as of a year ago, the Supreme Court was like, yeah, that's how this works. This is, fucking America. There's a reason the First Amendment, the freedom of speech is the first fucking amendment. Because it's that important. Now I could go off onto a diatribe about that and why that is, but anyway, that's not the point. I don't know. It's like, when are we gonna fucking wake up? I was telling someone this the other day, like, it gets very frustrating to be one of the people that sees what is happening and recognizes what it is and can call it out for what it is, and so many other people just want to keep their head in the sand. And that's not, I see now why things happened in a certain country about 80 years ago or so. I see how it happened, how people kept their head in the fucking sand, and just as long as it wasn't directly hurting them, but then it did. Okay. All I want to say is that this is important. It is more than just an entertainment late night show. This is an autocrat who is, it's happening, guys. This isn't hypothetical. This isn't potential. We are literally in the middle of, and I'm gonna say it, so autocratic fascist government. I don't have it in me, and I've said this a million times, I don't have it in me to sit here and be quiet. I don't have it in me to, it's there. I can feel that pull to just shut up, stay in my lane, and keep myself safe. But I can't. I ultimately can't. If we're not all okay, I can't be okay. Regardless, if I'm personally, fine. It's not who I am. It's not in my nature. I don't know. I can't do it. I can't do it. And I get not everybody is super vocal or people are very uncomfortable with that sort of warrior spirit. But you know what? I mean, I don't know, Buttercup, like, fucking buckle up, because shit's coming. It is here in many cases. And, you know, you gotta start practicing. You gotta start putting that armor on and dealing with those fears and anxieties, because, you know, it's not gonna get better. And we need to stand together and stand united. So, I don't know, whatever. This video is kind of meant to be a lot of things. I don't know. I know that those who stand with so many of us, it's hard not to watch the news. It's hard not to be out in the world and on social media, and be completely aware of what is happening. And this is one of a million things to be aware of. And not sink into that fear and terror. It's not easy, and especially those who are directly in environments who truly aren't safe. You know, it's I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. But you know, as always, I want to be a presence in the world that not only is a source of light and love, but also speaks the fucking truth. A lot of Christians, particularly like evangelicals, you know, I grew up in this culture, and so a lot of times, particularly those who are very involved in church, will take these. It's kind of like a personality test, but basically, like, it's supposed to let you know, like, what your spiritual gifts are. And my number one has always been prophecy. Now, prophecy, you know, has kind of made into this, like, thing about, you know, like, being able to, like, tell the future and things like that, and that certainly can be a part of it. But literally what a prophet means is somebody who speaks the truth. So, you know, it's always very fitting that that was always my number one biblical spiritual gift, because I struggled for a long time with not speaking the truth, and not because I wasn't comfortable with it or didn't want to, but because I felt so stifled, and I knew the people in my life didn't want to hear those things. But I'm just at a point in my life where it's like, fuck it, you know, I'm going to say what needs to be said. I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to speak about the truth around me. You know, and if in doing that I help other people, like, fucking fantastic. I don't think I've sworn this much in a video in a long time. But, so, I don't know, I don't know, like, who am I? Who the fuck am I? You know, I'm just some woman sitting in her room, posting this video. I don't know what impact I have, if any, maybe not. But I do know that I'm just feeling very, I gotta think another word, than compelled, because I've said it like a million times already. But I'm feeling very compelled to be an anchor for other people, to use my ability to love so deeply, but also that warrior spirit that's in me, to be a protector, to be a truth speaker and seeker, which is also why I'm on a path right now, working towards a certain goal, and I don't want to talk about it a whole lot right now, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks I can talk about it. But I don't know. It's I feel like when I think about it, like, this is who I am, this is where I belong, this is the path I belong on. And I'm tired of, well, when I'm tired of uplifting the potential of other people. I mean, I want to do that, but not at the expense of uplifting my own potential. But I also, I don't know, I want to, I want to help in whatever way I can be, whatever way I can. I want to be a resource in whatever way I can be. And right now I feel like this is the best way I can do that. So, interesting content so far. The intention here is to do sort of a weekly check-in to see kind of where we're at right now and kind of things to think on for the week. But I don't know how to get this off my chest, and I think it kind of is going to lead into where we go from here with tarot. But I don't know, the world is in a really difficult place right now, and I think keeping our heads in the sand helps nobody, least of all ourselves. And I think if we're talking about love and compassion, then like, let's really fucking show it. Let's care for people in a way that truly makes them feel, cared and loved for. And I think because what I've been going through, well, I mean, the last decade, but the last year, and very recently, sorry, the bangs are just, and I also have this cowlick, and anyway, sorry, focus. But just going through this divorce and everything, it's just, I always kind of take like how I feel, and then I'm like, well, I want everybody to feel, like that. So it's like, I want to feel loved and cared for, and I want other people to feel that way. And that's just sort of, that's another thing that's just very natural for me, is to be the nurturer. And like, I love it. I love being able to care for the people I want to care about. And it's just, I don't know, it's just always been sort of a part of me. And I think I may have posted something about this, but I told somebody that, I know how I'm perceived when I walk out into the world. It used to really bother me that people just made assumptions about me based on appearance. But now I kind of enjoy that, and I lean into it because I love the shock of it all. But I think for a long time, people just thought I was this vapid, person who really had no agency, who really couldn't stand on her own 2 feet. I know, I'm sorry, that's an ableist expression, but anyway. And I've never been that, but at the same time, I have also allowed myself to believe a lot of things that people told me about what I could and could not do, what I was capable of and not capable of. And now that I'm sort of emerging from this, I don't want to say dark period, that sounds so dramatic, but just, emerging into a new place and transitioning into something new in my life, and ready to truly, all the things that I've always known about myself and felt deep inside, and the way my intuition always guided me, but fully embracing that and fully knowing, yes, I can do it, and now actually stepping out and doing the thing. Like, I want other people to feel that too, because I want freedom. I want that sense of freedom and stability, and I think we all do. And if anything that I have done that has gotten me to this point and will get me to the next point and the next can help anybody else, I don't know. That's, like I said, I want to be a resource. And I want to connect with other people who are like-minded. So anyway, okay. I've never done tarot on camera because, one, I am a shitty shuffler. I do not shuffle well, so don't judge me. but also because I have to use so I'm not like some profesh content creator here who has like all this setup. So I just film on my phone because who the fuck cares? I mean, listen, if people can film their content while sat in their car, I mean, I can use my fucking phone. So deal with it. But when I'm recording on my phone, then I can't use it to excessively access my cards and such. So, which, shit, okay. We'll do that in a minute. Okay, so we're gonna do this, we're gonna try this out. Ooh, sweet. I've been doing this little intuition exercise. Oops. I mean, this mostly works because I am blind, but whatever, you can close your eyes and do this. So when I grab a box with my tarot cards, I don't know if it's, you know, upright or not. So I've kind of been just as a little, you know, intuition exercise to strengthen my intuition, have been just sort of like for a minute, like using my intuition to know if the box is upright or not. So, and we'll also see if I can talk and shuffle at the same time. But kudos to readers who can do that, because I don't know, I'm also old. I'm so old. Okay, let's focus here. People always say their readings are timeless, so I think that's true. You know, whenever you find something, you know, it can be meant for you. I told you guys, don't make fun of how I shuffle, okay? I can't. What was I saying? Oh, okay. So, you know, I'm definitely thinking about it and talking about things that are happening currently in this present moment. But, you know, if you come across this, if I'm still, my content's still around, whenever, you know, it doesn't mean that you can't get something from it. So, but, oops. I don't know where I was going with that. And actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna fucking pause because, oh well, I'll be right back. Don't want to knock my can over. Okay. I have to use a different phone so I can scan these cards when I draw them. So I want to look at what is our energy right now. What is something we can think on for the week, and you know, what's coming towards us this week. So I also, when I'm shuffling and doing this, I have different ways of how I draw the cards every time, so we'll see here. Okay, let me focus. Goddesses, angels, and ancestors. I ask what our energy is right now. What is the energy we are in right now? What is the energy we are feeling? I like to use my yoga mat because because it helps the cards from slipping. But I don't know why I have to have my mat horizontal. It has something to do with symmetry because I have freaking OCD. So I don't have as much room. Well, I guess I don't have to be sat on it, so. Okay. What is coming towards us? What should we watch for this month? By the way, no sponsors or anything, just a really cool thing. I'll shout out anybody in the Omaha Council Bluffs area. In a couple of weeks, Mystic Fest is coming to the Mid-American Center. I missed it in the spring, but I'm excited to go. And there's like tons of vendors. You know, there's readers, vendors with all sorts of things. You know, if you're into crystals and witchy woo and tarot and all those things, go check it out. You can find those more specific details, dates, times, all that stuff. Like I said, not a sponsor. I would love to have a sponsor. But that's not really the point. So, but I'll be there. I know it's a Saturday and Sunday, I believe the 4th and 5th, but again, double check those details. Also, if you follow Next Millennium, they are definitely promoting it. So shout out to Next Millennium. And it's kind of become me and my kids away from home. My kids, especially my 13-year-old, love to go there. So my 13-year-old, for his birthday, which was just a few weeks ago, there was this cat statue he's just been wanting, and it's been there for like a freaking year. And then I go to buy it for his birthday present, and of course it was not, somebody had bought it and they didn't have another one in stock. So we're just waiting for it to come back in stock. But my 13-year-old loves to go there, and he loves to get incense. So anyway, I'm excited about Mystic Fest because I just want to look at different tarot cards, see if there's some interesting decks I can find. So, okay, I know this is taking forever. I told you, it just, my process is a little different. So, what is coming towards us this week? What can we expect this week? Take picking the bottom card. Okay. These, by the way, are the Ethereal. I think it's called the Ethereal Visions Tarot. Let's just see this here. We'll see her in a minute. I'm pretty sure that's what these are called, but they're really pretty. What am I doing? It's not my phone. Okay. This is, I don't know. Okay, whatever. We're gonna go with it. Okay. Our current energy, Ten of Swords. I don't know if you can see this, but I will also post pictures. So that's our current energy. Sounds about right. King of Cups is something to think on this week. I feel like the King of Cups is what we wanted to think of last week too. That's really cool. Which, by the way, King. Oh. Interesting cards. So King of Cups is what to think on for the week. And sort of what's, I don't know if I like what's coming towards us, but I don't know if I like expect either. We'll stick with what's coming towards us, but we have Justice. Okay. I gotta, let me think here while I'm doing that. No. We'll also let you know this tarot deck. Yes, Ethereal Visions Tarot. Ethereal Visions Tarot cards. Luna Edition by Matt Hughes. Really like this deck. I'm very drawn to this deck right now. Okay. So our energy this week, Ten of Swords. I mean, it's pretty obvious. We are at a rope's end. We're over it. You know, we are ready for things to just be done. You know, we are burden is overload and it's weighing us down. That sounds about right. Excuse me. Something for us to think about this week is our King of Cups again. And, our King of Cups is, and again, in this card, he has one foot on the ground, one toe dipping into the water, which represents that, he is very much of earth, but also very much of spirit, that he can be in the world, but let the struggle and the turmoil revolve around him as opposed to within him. He also is very in touch with his, and by the way, this is never gender specific, I'm just saying his and he because of the king, but kings and queens can be women as much as they can be men, and can also be non-binary. So, but he's very much in touch with his emotions, but he doesn't let his emotions rule him. He is able to, create a balance within himself. And then we have for our what is coming towards us is justice. Karmic cycles are happening, and the wheel turns and life continues. Seasons come and go. But with our justice, karmic things are going to get their comeuppance. Now, I mean, if it's on a global scale, that's amazing. But it's not so much about us being gleeful in potential, revenge or comeuppance, but settling into this King of Cups, knowing that we are secure, and whether it's tomorrow, 2 weeks, 5 years, justice will come. Justice will be served. So I think the fact that we are in a Ten of Swords energy, I mean, that's just very fitting. That's kind of the state of the world right now. And it's a really hard place to be in. It's hard to feel that heavy burden and, just that weight and feel no release. But what we're being asked to think on for the week is this King of Cups. And I think, how can we find the balance within ourselves? But also, where can we show that compassion? Where can we show that love? Where can we bring, our balanced, centered selves to the world and help on a global level in whatever little capacity we can, right? Like we're not all gonna go join the Peace Corps. Depending on where you live, there might not be a lot available to you to do something on a bigger scale. But what can we do? I really highly recommend not really being on social media much. I pretty much post, but don't really engage a lot. And it's really great for a peace of mind. But if you are on social media, whether it's social media or just in your life, instead of being reactive to everything, how can we come at things with compassion? Even if it's somebody who's wronging us, right? But still, how can we come at it with a more balanced approach? It doesn't mean we don't call out behavior. It doesn't mean we don't have a conversation. It doesn't mean we don't say how we're feeling. Of course we need to do those things. But how can we do it without, coming at it in a reactive way? And again, that doesn't mean don't be angry, but focus on the matter at hand. Focus on the situation, but don't get into the weeds of you're this, you're that, and fuck you, and you're a piece of shit. Like that does nothing. And honestly, it doesn't really help us, when we snap at people like that, it's really doesn't change anything, and it just leads to more tension. So I think it's finding a balance within ourselves, but also finding ways to show that compassion to other people. And then with our justice, it's looking towards the future and creating the world we want to create. That's what I really feel we're being led towards. I mean, honestly, if you're not happy with, this is two parts. If you're not happy with your life, what can you do? I've been there. I've been in that mindset of like, well, I don't control any of this. I'm not in control of this. I can't change these things. Well, that mindset certainly doesn't help. It certainly doesn't help. And I'm nowhere near. I'm not sitting here acting like I've made it to the peak of the mountain. I'm at the pinnacle. There are things I'm still working towards and goals that I need to and want to attain. But I've gotten myself out of that mindset that like I don't control it, or that I can't do, like that's not for me. I can't do that. I'm too old. I'm a mom. Like no, that's just bullshit that's fed to us. Because if there's things that we want, there's things that we desire, we can take steps. We just need to get out of that mindset of the what ifs and the buts, no more buts. But if there's something you want for yourself, your own life, whether it's, friendship, love, employment, school, anything, like what can you do? Don't think about all the buts and the what ifs. What do you want to do? What is your, okay, so literally when I'm asking, what do you want? What's the first thing that comes to mind? Whether it's about relationships, work, anything, dreams, first thing that comes to mind. You want to do that? Okay, now what? What are those steps? What are those steps to get there? I'm not really of the mindset that like if you want to find love, like you go out and date all the people. But are you somebody who doesn't really go out a lot? Are you somebody who just doesn't have confidence? Because that's a lot of it too. Like when you don't have confidence, people pick up on that. But also like, what do you want in a relationship? Like if you don't know that, that's where you need to start. Oh my God, this is a whole other reading. But we'll just say, until you have that confidence and you know what you want, there's really no point in being in a relationship, platonic or romantic, but specifically romantic, because it's you're as the relationship goes on, you're like, oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't think this is for me. But now you're in the relationship, so you have to start with working on yourself first. You have to love yourself first. But anyway, if it's employment, do you want a promotion at work? Do you want a new job? What are the steps? Does it involve school? Well, okay, look at it, consider it. Obstacles are only really obstacles if we allow them to be. Now that doesn't mean there aren't things in our path that can be a challenge, and that don't bring difficulty. Of course, it's life. Of course that's going to happen. But stop, reflect. If things come up, don't get into the mindset of anxiety and fear and then give up, because then you're not going to reach those things. It doesn't mean they're not for you. Just because there's like a thing that you have to do to get to that next thing doesn't mean it's not for you. There are going to be challenges. But like, I heard a friend of mine once said a great thing, and they specifically were talking about disability, but it applies to everything. And like, when you come to an obstacle in the road, you can go around it, sure, but then that obstacle's still there. Instead of finding a way to move it or break it apart so that then other people who follow that path don't have to come across the obstacle. I mean, that's a little different than what I'm talking about now that I think about it, but I still think that's a great little nugget of wisdom there. But, you know, things that are hard to get don't mean you can't have them or don't deserve them. It just means it's gonna take work, but that's okay. Anyway, I'm trying to say that what's the future you want for yourself? But also, on the flip side, what do we want for the world? You know, what can you do? Legitimately. And don't sit there and tell me, oh, I don't control these things, I can't do this, I can't do that. Yeah, there are things we can't control. So let those fucking go. Look at what you can control. Look at what you can do. How can you be involved in your community? If you're not comfortable with protests and rallies, that's okay, although you could show up. But what can you do in your community? How can you be this King of Cups and show the love in your community to other people? And maybe you're not used to that. And maybe you have a little bit of awkwardness around people who might have a different lived experience than you. But, you know, that's okay. It's okay. We learn, we grow. We're all, our whole life, are in a phase of learning. And per usual, guys, if I'm not always looking at the camera, fuck off, okay? Then just go somewhere else. Love you. But you know, let's sit in this King of Cups energy and create the world we want. We can do it. It is within us. I wish I could be like so much more positive. There's this reader I love, Dylan. He goes by My Soul. And check him out on YouTube. Again, no affiliation, I don't know him, but he's great. And he's just such a great positive source of light in this world. And I wish I could be that positive. I don't know, I've always got a little bit of that fire. I've got a little bit of the bitch, and it's just always there. So it is what it is. But you know, with our justice, like, let's create the world we want. Let's, you know, what was the commercial from Coca-Cola way back in the day? Oh God, what was it? Perfect harmony. That's all I can remember, but that's really all we need. Grow apple trees and something. I don't know. Go grow a fucking apple tree. You know, with what's coming towards us, and I don't even think it's just this week, just take the fucking King of Cups energy and start making changes. Start taking baby steps in whatever it is. What set a goal. Don't wait for the fucking New Year's. I hate fucking New Year's resolutions. It's so ridiculous. It's just another thing to commodify and capitalize on. That's all it fucking is. If you have a goal, do it now. Do you want to walk more? Then start walking every day. Even for like, you know, around the block. You want to drink more water? Do it. You know, you want a different job? Start looking, start applying. I don't know, it's just, if we want change in our life, we want to see that justice in our personal life and in the world, like, what can we do right now to start that change? You know, there's divine timing and the wheel is constantly turning, but we also have free will. You know, we do things to impact the future. and are present. So what can you do? What can we do? I started tonight a meditation challenge with a group of people, and we had to choose 3 different things that we're going to do every day. And I'm a Leo, so Leos are kind of known for like being very passionate, and when we're really into a project or just anything, we can be very hard workers, but then we sometimes like kind of lose our steam, and we're not like consistent with our discipline. So that's kind of where I'm at. But we need to choose one thing for mind, body, and soul that we're going to do every day. And mine are, for body, I'm going to eat breakfast every day because I don't do that. I don't know, it's since I was a teenager, I don't eat breakfast every day, and I know I should, even just something small, but I often don't. So, with my morning coffee, I'm gonna start eating breakfast every day. And then, I do like to walk. And because I have Clarissa, my guide dog, I need to get out more because of her. But I just really need to be, it's not the walking so much as the being outside. And it just makes sense that if I'm gonna be outside, let's walk. And again, it doesn't have to be like 5 miles, but I'm going to get out every day and just sort of be in nature as much as I can, living in the middle of a city. But to get outside. And then I am going to get back to journaling. I haven't been doing it for like a month. But I was doing it I've always journaled like my entire life, even as a little kid. But like in the last year, it's been just very inconsistent. Like I'll do it for a few months and then I stop, and I do it for a few months and I stop. And when I'm doing it, it's fantastic. It's wonderful. So every day when I'm doing my meditation and my personal tarot, I'm also going to journal. So I'm going to get back into that. So I just challenge everybody. If you want to do 3 things, great. What is one thing? What is one thing you can, what's the word I'm thinking of? Commit. What is one thing you can commit to every day to start doing now? It can be small, it can be big, but what is one thing? And then we can move towards that justice. I've been talking for a long time. For those who have stuck around, I appreciate it. I don't know, I don't really know what I'm doing. I always say I'm not a content creator because I don't think about, and I've worked in marketing, I don't think about branding, I don't think about the marketing of anything. I'm just like, when I feel compelled to do something, I do it. I guess you would call this content creation, but I'm not really, at this point in my life, creating a business out of it. But nonetheless, if you like this, please subscribe, please share. And let's try and build a community together. If I'm a little too feisty and bitchy, I apologize. But there are plenty of other people out there who are probably more in line with you, and vibe a little bit better with you. But if you like this kind of snark, please go ahead, like and subscribe. But anyway, on that note, I love everybody. I'm always sending love and positive energy and safety out into this world. As always, I really want to stand with my LGBTQIA+ community, particularly the trans community, with everything that is happening right now and recent things that are happening. You belong here, you have value, you have worth, and we see you and we know you. Keep standing in your power and in your authentic self. And I'm sending you all the love and safety as well. So on that note, all my lovely, beautiful people, I will go now, and I hope this video, as rambling as it was, brings you some type of, thoughtfulness, perspective, entertainment for the week. So on that, mwah.